Along, welcoming into the studio, welcoming back to the studio from the Better Business Bureau is Carmen Million. Carmen, welcome back. How are you?
Brian, I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
No, glad to have you on here. Glad to be talking about Shred Fest. This is the 16th annual Shred Fest. Tell me all about it.
It is. This is 16th annual Shred Fest, and we have moved it to April. In this case, it could be April 15th. We're having it at the Baton Rouge Police Department parking lot off Airline. And we have the police department helping us organize the traffic because we have blocked traffic in the past.
Wow. Okay.
We have. Last year, we did almost 800 vehicles in 3 hours. This year, we're going to add an additional hour, so we're going to be from 8 to 12. You do not have to get out of your vehicles. You literally drive through. We unload it and shred the documents for you on the spot.
Okay. So it's a drive-through, and once you've dropped it off, you're done.
That's right. You will. We will give you some information to help you protect yourself from identity theft. We do ask that you bring no more than 3 bags or 3 boxes. And
Okay.
people ask what the size is.
Right.
Basically, if we can lift it out of your vehicle, that's a good size.
Okay.
Just make sure it's paper. If we can't lift it, we can't get it out of there. And we will have a lot of volunteers to help us. But just understand that we're trying to reach as many consumers, and this is a consumer-only event.
Right.
As many as we can in the 12 parishes that we service.
Once you drop it off, I mean, I would imagine since this is to protect you from identity theft, verification that it actually got shredded. I mean, comes back to you, or how?
We literally dump it into the bucket as you're in there, and it goes, as soon as that bucket's full, it's shredded right there. And we use a professional shredder, Secure Shredding, and they shred it on the spot. So when they leave the venue, every document has been shredded.
Okay, I've got questions. That's a lot of paper. Shredded or not, that's a lot of paper. What happens to it?
They actually recycle it. And last year they had to bring additional box trucks to handle the overloads because we had so many. So they're prepared this year, they say, but you don't have to worry about your documents.
Okay, Saturday, April 15th. That's I'm putting the connection together why it's on April 15th.
Absolutely. We're talking about tax time. It's a good opportunity for people to destroy documents that have personal information, like, your tax information.
Right.
So you want to make sure that anything that has your personal information, your bank account numbers, your social security numbers, things that you don't want in the hands of scammers.
Walk me through the process of how that happens, because I'm always more worried about my information online than I am my information in print.
Honestly, identity theft is mostly a crime of access. So it depends on how accessible your information is. And unfortunately, most people who are victims of identity theft are victimized by people they know. The information is out there. They know their social security numbers, their bank account numbers. However, because of COVID and everybody going online, it added an additional layer of concern online. So just make sure if you're going to, do business online, that you're in a protected site, that you know who you're dealing with. Don't respond to pop-ups. Don't give information unless you know who it is you're actually dealing with.
We're talking with Carmen Million from the South Central Louisiana Better Business Bureau. And it's because I'm more concerned online that I'm more protective online and a little less guarded in reality with stuff in print. You're not going to find my social security number online. But that stack of papers that goes along with the taxes is probably on about 8 or 9 documents within. Speaking of that, though, the stuff that goes along with our taxes, there's a lot that we should probably keep. Are there guidelines anywhere that say this is what you probably should hold on to in case of an audit a couple of years down the road?
Right. We do have a list of timelines on how long you should keep each document, and we get that from the IRS. And, of course, they tell you for your tax returns to keep that permanently. Right. Okay, up to you. Bank statements, that sort of thing, 7 years or so, and anything else that has information but is not that important, no more than 2 years. You don't want a fire hazard. You want to make sure you properly dispose of it. Somebody asked if we tear it up and we throw it in the trash can, is it okay? There's something called dumpster divers. People will actually go to your trash and put these documents together, so don't do that.
Okay. Yeah, that feels like it would be a no-brainer to me, but I'm naturally paranoid. So
exactly.
The Shred Fest event coming up this Saturday, April 15th, 8 a.m. to noon at Baton Rouge Police Headquarters, the former Old Women's Hospital, 9000 Airline Highway. Now, there's a couple of underwriters for this event that are making it happen.
Absolutely. We could not do without our underwriters. In this case, it's going to be Citizens Bank again, and they do this every year.
Love them.
AARP, which they love partnering with us. And then, of course, we have a new one this year, Blue Cross Blue Shield, because they saw the event last year and realized this is a great event to support. And, of course, we have the main thing is we could not do it without Secure Shredding. They are a local professional shredder that does this for us free of charge.
The secure shredding and recycling, taking care of that. So it gets recycled by them after the fact.
Absolutely.
Where does that end up? Is it like egg cartons down the road? What does that happen?
Probably.
The Citizens Bank and Trust, they're active in the community all the time.
Right, and they have been sponsoring this event for, the 5 years I've been here and before that. And so they're really active. They actually have a lot of their employees out there helping us volunteer as well. And the other thing is I want to make sure that people understand is that we do service 12 parishes. You do not have to be just from Baton Rouge to come through.
Okay.
The second thing is that we don't charge for this event. However, the food bank will be there accepting donations of food or money if you'd like to donate to them.
I'm glad you got around to that part of this because I saw that in the bottom corner and I wanted to make sure it was mentioned. The food bank, like every nonprofit right now, has been struggling through COVID, recession. When recessions are threatened, that's when donations start to fall back a little bit. So what can people bring?
They can bring canned goods, anything that's canned. And if they don't have something that's that will stay, no fresh foods or anything like that. Yeah. But if they don't have canned goods, then bring money.
Okay.
Because they will accept cash. And it doesn't matter the amount. You will still be able to go through the event. We just want to bring awareness that it's not just the holidays that people need food. They need it in the summer, especially when kids are not in school. So it's a good time to bring food.
We're talking with Carmen Million from the South Central Louisiana Better Business Bureau about the upcoming Shred Fest. Now, the main priority here is protecting from identity theft. There's a little bit of spring cleaning going on as well, but protecting from identity theft. So we hear the horror stories about the online identity theft. When it happens in real life, walk me through how it happened. How it happens. You mentioned it's normally somebody you know. That scenario plays out how?
Well, the thing is somebody, it could be a family member, and unfortunately, years ago, it used to be children stealing their parents' identity, and we're finding more and more that parents are stealing their children's identity. But there are family members out there that may have access to your information, or just people that go through your home, and they take that information, and then they will open up accounts in your name. Most people do not know they've been a victim of identity theft until they go make a large purchase and they're denied.
Right.
There was a law that was passed in 2005 that allows every consumer to get a free copy of their credit report at annualcreditreport.com. The reason that was put out is because it allows every consumer to get a free copy of their credit report from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And if there's something on your account that you know that you didn't authorize or that it's not yours, you can dispute it right then and there. So the main thing is don't, you have to be your first line of defense. You want to make sure that you protect yourself, whether it's at home or online. Don't make that information easily accessible.
Yeah, because it's a seemingly impossible hole to dig yourself out of. Side note, I'm just coming out of having 4 people in New York prosecuted for stealing my identity and the identity of about 250 other people all at once. It is, and I'm never going to see that money again. I'm just happy to have put a stop to it from happening, draining on a consistent basis.
Right. And we tell people it takes a second to be a victim of identity theft. Sometimes it takes years to get it cleared up if you can. Yeah. So just make sure that you protect yourself, whether it's online, in person. When you dispose of your trash, just make sure you properly dispose of it.
We're talking with Carmen Million from the Better Business Bureau. What else y'all got going on these days?
Well, we just moved. We sold our building downtown, and we, I
love that building.
I know, but the thing is most people that really needed to get to us couldn't get to us. Elderly do not want to go down Main Street. Yeah. It's wonderful, and we sold it to a law firm, which is great because the courthouse is behind them. I don't need to go to the courthouse.
Sure.
But we are now on Drusilla.
Okay.
And we're in a rental right now temporarily, but you can get to us at 3266 Drusilla. We just moved, so we're starting to work on events that we're going to be planning for this year. And, but, come visit us, 3266 Drusilla Lane.
3266 Drusilla Lane. Yeah, that building downtown, that was a staple, absolute staple down.
I know.
Have you really been here 5 years already?
I've been here 5 years. Yeah,
That is incredible. So fast.
it has. It
You
has.
really
Well,
get there.
I've been with the Bureau system for 41 years. So
Yeah, absolutely. Along with Shredfest coming up on April 15th, what other things do people need to know about tax time right now? Because I would imagine this would be one of those times of the year where calls start coming in offering air quote help.
yeah, this is the thing that people need to understand. The scammers are out there and they're looking for things that are going on in the community. They're not stupid. They know they have the internet, so they know it's tax time. Most of these scammers are out of the country, but they will contact you and tell you that they're with the IRS and that you have back payments that you need to pay immediately, or they're going to have a warrant for your arrest. People need to understand you can't be arrested for debt you owe unless you committed fraud. Don't let fear or panic make a bad situation worse. If you get that call, hang up and call the Internal Revenue Service,
Right.
Or a CPA or somebody that can help you, but don't make a rash decision based on fear.
The hardest part about that is they put you on your heels immediately. And the stronger they come off, the more likely they are a fraud. The stronger they come off, the more likely it is a scam, because the IRS or anybody else is not going to bully you, strong arm you into a corner off of the first phone call. That's just not how it works.
Well, first of all, the IRS is not going to call you. I mean, let's be real. They're going to tell people if you ever, if whether it's Medicare or the IRS, try calling them. You can never get them on the phone the first time, so understand that they're not trying to call you. That's the first thing you need to realize. The second thing is that they do push you in a corner. That's the point. They want you to make a bad decision, and unfortunately, scammers can manipulate the phone system. They can actually make it look like it is the IRS calling you.
Right.
If you don't recognize the number, you don't know who it is for sure, do not answer it. Let your answering machine leave a message, and then pick up the phone and call a number that you know is legitimate. Don't just pick up and call the number that's showing up on the internet. I mean, on the caller ID.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no such thing as a scammer season because they're pretty much year round. They find a different item on the calendar to cling on to year round. But tax time is one where you got to know what you're on the lookout for. Shredfest coming up Saturday, April 15th from 8 a.m. until noon out at the Baton Rouge Police Headquarters, 9000 Airline Highway. 3 boxes or 3 bags or a combination of that. If you can't pick it up, they can't pick it up would be the general guideline to go by, although I'm sure there's a little bit of leeway within there. Carmen, I appreciate the time this morning.
Thank you, Brian.
Absolutely. Thank you.